Hey, what's up, guys? Dylan Johnson from Soccermag here, and welcome back to another episode. It has been a little bit of a break, and things have changed again quite dramatically. I think the last time I spoke to you guys was before Man City played Arsenal, and following those 2 weeks until the Everton game, it looked like Man City could do the impossible. But now we know it is the impossible because they are not that good. Um, yeah, to start things off, we'll go through Liverpool versus Chelsea. It's the first game of the weekend. And yeah, Chelsea have not won in a while. But yeah, this Liverpool, you never actually know. They could just be charitable and give Chelsea a win. But to go through Liverpool, I mean, since they went on a bit of a run, they won those 3 games in a row in the Premier League. Um, and after the Palace game, they scored 3 goals. The goal they conceded was a bit like iffy with Woodman going down. Say what you will about it. I don't really care about it. It's in the past now. But yeah, against Man United, just not good enough at all. First half, just terrible. I mean, that first 15, 20 minutes, you could probably say the whole first 45, just Man United creating chances at will. No one, it felt like, even though Liverpool played 5 midfielders, the 3 that were playing for Man United completely dominated. Just so much space, one pass through, straight at Van Dijk and Konate, who just were completely exposed the whole game. I think that first 10, 15 minutes, it was ridiculous, the challenges and like the chances that they had to stop or try and stop. Um, just going forward as well. I know that Cody was the only real like out and out forward, but it just felt like everything wasn't good. I'm not gonna like try and sound extreme and say it was absolutely terrible. That first half was so poor. Um, Against Man United, biggest game of the season, biggest game of your season. You could go above them in the table, and I know it's at Old Trafford, but like this United team have improved a lot under Michael Carrick, but they're not that good. They still concede chances. They still like they're wasteful going forward. They probably should have been five goals up at halftime. Um, and it's just incredibly frustrating that then the goals we do score are not like build up or system or sustained pressure. It's like Soboslai runs the whole field and scores. I think the second goal, Cody, it's like a massive mistake from United. Score 2-2. Okay, great. We back in this. Are we gonna push for the winner? And then it kind of just fades back into like United just get a chance. A stupid, like it's just. I feel like that game characterizes Liverpool's season perfectly. Very poor, just completely outmuscled, outrun, like overpowered, just outplayed, and then gives you a little bit of hope that they could pull it back, and then just it's all for nothing. The players apologizing again, like it's not good enough, it's not good enough, we need to change it, we need to stick together. Guys, it's been 35 games in the Premier League this season. We've lost 18 games in all competitions. We out of everything. We losing a lot. We conceding a lot. We playing badly. We're lucky that Chelsea, before I get into them properly, and Villa have disintegrated. And when I say disintegrated, I mean more towards Chelsea. But you're also lucky that Villa are in, pushing for a European trophy, and they kind of like putting the Premier League on a bit of a back seat. Because if they weren't, I wouldn't, we'd be fifth, and Bournemouth would be on our tails properly. I think Liverpool need, if they win their next, I think they need 4 points to secure like Champions League. But like that's so disappointing if you look at like the beginning of the season and what our expectations were. Like we thinking like, oh, if we just need 4 more points from our last 3 games, and then we'll fight off Bournemouth like for Champions League. Like it's a bit crazy, but it is what it is. We just have to like make sure that we get that and move on. It's just going back. McAllister, Gravenberch, offering absolutely nothing. Like without the ball, absolutely nothing. Just doing nothing, providing no resistance whatsoever on the ball. So sloppy, just like turnover possession constantly. And it's like Soboslai's trying as hard as he can. He looks like he's trying as hard as he can. He's scoring goals. There's just nothing around him at all. Cody just is not a striker, and unfortunately, I think this season he's also shown that he's not good enough to lead the line for Liverpool. He's not good enough to be Liverpool's marquee main forward, and unfortunately, I think that's just the reality. He hasn't scored enough goals this season. I know it's been difficult for all of the forwards, but I think, it needs to go back. He needs some competition there. Like, we can't keep having Rio coming on and being our best forward, or most exciting forward, when Cody's there on £200,000 a week and is the senior winger. But I'm not sure how they will address that next season. And then also defensively, I don't know. It's just so open. Van Dijk and Konate are putting out fires constantly. And they're not playing well either. So it's not like they're keeping clean sheets against all odds. It's like, no, they're conceding goals, they're conceding chances, they're making mistakes. But you have sympathy for them because Mbuemo and Bruno and Ahmad and Sesko and all these players are literally running straight at them, 4v2s, 3v2s. What can they do? They can definitely improve. They can try and stop and keep a clean sheet. But I do have some, sympathy and empathy for their situation. From Chelsea's point of view, it's dark times. Like, it's not looking good for them. I think, if we look at the table, they're 9th now. I think they if Liverpool or Villa get one more point, they're completely out of the European, or not the European, but like the Champions League situation, which is pretty crazy to think of, that they were ahead of Liverpool probably a month or so ago. I think it was 5 weeks ago. They were in a comfortable position, not comfortable, but they were in a position to end in the top 4, even top 5. And it's just, again, Chelsea is a complete mess. On the field, off the field, the board, everything's a complete mess. And you can see it through the players who have no confidence. Cole Palmer is a shadow of himself. Like, watching him with the ball now, it looks like you're watching a completely different player. Doesn't want to shoot, doesn't really the crosses he's putting into the box aren't the same. He's losing the ball, he's losing possession. Kind of looks like when he gets the ball, he looks up and he's like Garnacho, Neto. Up front, it's like Delap or João Pedro. I think João Pedro has obviously done well this season, but there's just very little for him there. I think he's also probably trying a bit too hard, but he's just not playing well. I don't think anyone in Chelsea is really playing well. They're conceding goals. I mean, they got humiliated by Forest in the middle of the week. And they're pushing for goals, but it's there's not much substance there. There's really, I know that João Pedro had the one goal disallowed, and then he scored in the end, but Forest have made Chelsea look very poor. And Forest are, I think, 16th, they're 16th. But again, they also have been very solid recently. They're also pushing for, if I'm not mistaken, they're also pushing for, they're playing Villa, they're pushing for another European trophy. But what do I think is going to happen this weekend? It would not shock me whatsoever for Liverpool to lose this game. I think every possible outcome that could shock me this season has already occurred. And I would not be surprised if Liverpool lose to Chelsea and give them their first win in since I don't know, in 6 or 7 or 8 games. Probably more than that at this point. It feels like the kind of game where Chelsea uses a springboard to secure Europa League. And they'll come there and they'll boss the midfield. Caicedo and Enzo will make Gravenberch and McAllister look worse than they have been. Going forward, it's Cody and I'm not sure I don't think Mo is going to be back yet, and Wirtz. It's just I don't know. I'm not feeling very confident. I think as bad as Chelsea have been, Liverpool have this amazing ability to make other teams look better, and I think that they will potentially do that this weekend. I'm really hoping Liverpool win. If Liverpool win, it's like, okay, Champions League is basically in the bag. And they need to win this game. Like they have to. They can't let Bournemouth or Villa, put them under more pressure. So I'm going to go for a draw. I can see Chelsea like waking up a bit, and I can also just see Liverpool having another one of those days. What scoreline? Maybe a 2-2. Both teams are very open. Both teams do have the ability to hurt the opposition, even though they haven't done that as frequently as you probably would have liked. But yeah, so I'm going to go for a draw there. Then we have Brighton vs Wolves, and this is a bit of a nothing game. I don't think either team has much to fight for. I think Brighton's fighting for Europa, but Wolves are out, so I'm just going to go for a Brighton win at home. Fulham vs Bournemouth is going to be an exciting game, I reckon. I think there'll be goals here. Bournemouth, again, if they win, they're 3 points behind Liverpool and Villa. Massive for them. I think Fulham are also kind of in the mix for Europa. Yeah, if they win, they'll be 1 point behind Bournemouth. So I think I'm going to go for a draw here, just because it's at Fulham. But I know Bournemouth have been in good form. I know Fulham are also a difficult team. Then we have Sunderland versus Man United. And yeah, I think Sunderland are kind of in a position where the middle of the pack is very close. Like if they win, they could be within range of Europe. But you got to back United. They've picked up, I think it's like the stats, they've picked up the most points since Carrick's taken over. I know it's at the Stadium of Light, but the second half of the season, hasn't been as much of a fortress as the first half. Can see United winning that game. I just really hope Bruno does not break this assist record. I will not hear the end of it, and it will probably ruin my weekend. But I'm going to go for a Man United win. Then we have Man City versus Brentford. And Man City have kind of, I think, I said like the last time, like this Man City team are not capable of winning 10 games in a row or 8 games in a row or 7 games in a row. And against Everton, like they proved exactly why Arsenal are likely or most likely going to win the league. And I think since Arsenal have lost to Man City, they've kind of shown a different side to themselves. But yeah, Man City just to go 3-1 down, it's like, guys, some of the individual mistakes that were made, like Everton have been very good this season. They're physical, they fighters, they're warriors. Like to go to Everton is tough. But like if you want to win the title, you go 1-0 up. You can't be conceding 3 goals, especially the way they did. I think there were large parts of that game where Everton were like seriously putting Man City under pressure, and luckily Doku got that equalizer to give them a bit of hope. But 5 points down with 4 games to go. Even looking at Man City's games, like if they can't beat Everton, I don't think they're going to beat. They're not going to win all 4 of these games. And the way Arsenal have been playing, I don't see Arsenal dropping points, especially considering their opposition as well. And Brentford, also very tricky team, like another physical team, another team that plays like on the fine margins, like slows the game down. And City, I don't know if Pep Guardiola will be able to calm down the squad, because it did look at times like very frantic and very uneasy against Everton. I feel like Brentford are going to try their best to bring that out of City. Even if City go 1-0 up, it's like, doesn't feel like it's enough. It needs to be 2 or 3 goals. But we'll see. Maybe it's just a blip. Maybe they're still in it. But in this current position, I don't see them winning the title. But do I see them bringing Brentford? I think they will beat Brentford. But again, it's their next match. It's their like final 2 matches that I think will, if Everton didn't decide it, those will. We have Burnley versus Aston Villa on Sunday, and yeah, I think Villa will probably be a bit fatigued depending on the result against Forest, like in the second leg semi. Because I know if I'm not mistaken, they're 1-0 down on aggregate. They'll probably be resting players, or players will be recovering. If they win, they'll probably be rotating their squad crazily. If they lose, I still expect them to rotate a bit. Burnley are already relegated. You'd expect Villa to beat them, and I do. Palace versus Everton, tricky one. Like I just spoke really positively about Everton. But I think it will be a tight game between Palace. So I'm going to go for a draw. Then we have Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle, and again, similar situation to Villa. They rotate? They did rotate quite heavily against Chelsea, and they still absolutely smacked them. So, yeah, I mean, Morgan Gibbs-White obviously got absolutely destroyed by Sanchez. So he's not going to be there. I don't think, by the looks of the pictures, it doesn't look like he's going to be there. But yeah, I think Forest at home, at least a draw here. I mean, Newcastle, not really fighting for anything. Again, I think similar to other teams, they could get a glimmer of the chance of Europe if they win. But I'm gonna back a draw here again, like another draw. Forest are going to rotate. Yeah, West Ham versus Arsenal, massive. But yeah, I think the last time, or last weekend, going into last weekend's round of fixtures, it was like Arsenal equal with City, West Ham above Spurs. I think that narrative's completely flipped. I think West Ham are going down now. Spurs, massive results. Massive result against Villa. That was huge. And West Ham's games are very tricky. They play Arsenal, they play Newcastle, and then they play Leeds on the final day. Whereas Spurs play Leeds, they play Chelsea, and then they play Everton. Also not easy. Also very tricky. But I reckon if West Ham get battered by Arsenal this weekend, which they probably will, and Spurs beat Leeds, it's like don't see West Ham bouncing back from that. And I do foresee Arsenal beating West Ham. I think they've been fighting really hard. They've been giving it their all. They have been getting good results. But unfortunately, it just looks like it's not going to be enough. And if Arsenal play like they did against Fulham, they're going to absolutely destroy West Ham. So, yeah, from an Arsenal point of view, things are looking great. Champions League final, 5 points clear. Could not really be asking for a better season. And it looks like, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, since they lost to City, there's been almost a freeing, like something has been released within them where like they're actually playing way more progressive, like free-flowing, like the edge is off, the pressure's off, they were nothing to lose. I know against Newcastle, they just edged that game, and Newcastle did have some issue, like did push there, but it's like you could see the moments of like Saka and Odegaard looking more free and taking shots and actually wanting to link up. Then against Fulham, that was even more evident. Just the way they played kind of reminded us of 2 or 3 years ago. And if they continue to play like that in the Premier League, I don't think they will in the Champions League, which they proved last night. They should have no worries about winning the title. So I'm going for an Arsenal win there. Then on Monday, Spurs take on Leeds. And Leeds are kind of in a pretty comfortable position. I think they're 7 ahead of West Ham. So they pretty much just need 2 points from their final 3 games to be safe. And I think, yeah, I don't think they'll beat Spurs this weekend, because I think even though they'll probably, if they win, there's a massive spanner in it, especially if West Ham gets something from Arsenal. But I can see Spurs taking massive confidence from their win last week and going and beating Leeds at home. Then Man City's second game of the round against Crystal Palace. It's hard to talk about this one because, again, they have a whole nother game before this. And this is actually in a week's time. Should they beat Palace right now? I would say yes. But it's difficult to predict that far in the future. Things change in football very quickly. I will say that Man City will win. And I can't really give much more analysis because they are playing a game in between that against Brentford. But yeah, I'd say overall, it's an exciting game week. Massive pressure on Liverpool, on Chelsea, on Man City, less so on Arsenal, less so on Spurs this week compared to last week, and massive pressure on West Ham. But thanks, guys. That's been Soccermag's preview for game week 36 of the Premier League. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. Let me know I'm stupid. Cheers, guys. Thanks.